With Doubtnut, get instant video solutions to all your maths, physics, chemistry, and biology doubts. Just click the image of the question, crop the question, and get instant video solution. Download Doubtnut app today.
If we talk about this question, in this question we're asked to classify the following diseases as infectious or non-infectious, right? So if we talk about the diseases, so these are basically two on the basis of their mode of transmission, right? Basically on the basis of their cause. So one is basically the infectious disease, right, and the other one is the non-infectious diseases, right? So the infectious diseases are basically those diseases, right, that are caused by causative agent, right, that basically transfers by some causative agent, right? So, and if we talk about the non-infectious diseases, so these, they do not need any causative agent, right? They do not need, right, they have no causative agent, they are just caused by any abnormal cell growth, right, or any sort of abnormality in the body, right? So they have nothing to do with the causative or the infectious agent, right? So basically if we look at the parts here, or the diseases here, so the very first disease is the AIDS, right? So if we talk about the AIDS, so the causative agent involved for the cause of the for causing the AIDS is the HIV, that is human immunodeficiency virus, right? So AIDS is caused whenever there is any sort of body fluid exchange takes place between a healthy person and an infected person. In that case, the AIDS will be transmitted from the infected person to the healthy person. Example, during the sexual contact. Right now, if we talk about the second part, that's the tuberculosis. Right. So tuberculosis is also basically an infectious diseases. Right. It is also basically an infectious disease, right? It's also an infectious disease, right? Then apart from this, then we have the next part, right? So because the tuberculosis also involves the causative agent, right, it also have the infectious agent that basically causes the this disease, and the name of the disease is Mycobacterium tuberculosis, right? That's the bacteria that causes the disease. Right, so this is the reason why tuberculosis is also infectious disease. Now for cholera, right, if we talk about the cholera, so it is also an infectious disease, right? It is also it is caused by the consumption of the contaminated food and water. So the bacteria that causes the cholera is basically the Vibrio cholerae bacteria, right? Then we have the next part, right, that's basically the high blood pressure or the high BP. So here there is no causative agent involved. It is because due to our lifestyle, right? It is because of our eating habits, our diet, right? If we consume unhealthy food, then there will be some clogging of the blood vessels, right? That will lead to this condition. So it is basically non-infectious, right? If a person has the high BP issues, right, it is not that possible that it will transfer from one person to another, right? So it will not be transmitted, this disease. So the disease that will transfer from one person to another, that's the infectious disease, while the one that do not that will not transfer, right, to one person to the another, right, that's non-infectious. So an infectious causative agent basically transfers from the infected person to the healthy person, that basically causes the disease in the healthy person, right? So there is nothing, no causative agent involved that will cause any sort of infection to the another person, so it is non-infectious. Now the next part basically is the heart disease, right? So the heart disease is another that condition of the disease, right, where no causative agent is involved, right? So that's also non-infectious disease, right? Here also, if a person is suffering from any of the heart disease, right, it has nothing to do with the transmission to the another person, right? So it will not be a infectious disease. Then the next part that we have is the pneumonia, right? So pneumonia basically, it infects the alveoli of our lungs, right? And this is an infectious disease because the infecting agent or the causative agent involved here is Streptococcus pneumonia, which is the bacteria, right? And it is a condition in which when the affected person sneeze, right, when their sneeze droplets get transferred to some healthy person, right? In that case, there are chances, very high chances, that the healthy person gets affected, right? So pneumonia is another an infectious disease, as it involves infectious agent. Then the last part that we have is the cancer, right? So cancer is basically non-infectious, right? The reason being that it has nothing to do with the causative agent. There's no causative agent for causing the cancer. Cancer is basically the abnormal growth of the cells that takes place in the body of an organism, right? So the abnormal growth of the cells is basically due to any genetic abnormality or any other issues, right? But is not related to the infection or any of the causative agent, right? So this is the complete categorization, right?
For class 6 to 12, IIT JEE and NEET level. Trusted by more than 5 crore students. Download Doubtnut app today.